Hi everyone, and welcome to our session on innovative tech platforms for creative virtual co-production, which is like a slightly jargony title. Basically, we're using a really fun new platform as a way to bring people together at the end of this, from all accounts has been a brilliant first week of the co-production festival. So you can try something a bit different and fun and participatory and showcase one of the types of new innovative co-production platforms that exist out there now. So please definitely introduce yourself in the chat. If it's all right to mute yourself, but if you've got any questions at any point, just unmute, just speak up, and it'd be lovely to hear from you all. My name is Maddie. I work for Co-Create, and we're really happy to be collaborating with the festival on this workshop. It's been a really fun process to develop it together. So we're starting on Zoom just to give you like a bit of a intro and kind of a grounding before we send you off to gather, just for people that aren't quite as sure about the tech yet. The reason we wanted to put this workshop on in this way is that, you know, the pandemic, the last year has made us be so creative and innovative in how we collaborate with people and work with each other. And we really want to think about what if we integrate what we've learned going forward. How can we use online tools to share ideas and interact with a wider audience in creative ways? Plus, it's just fun. It's just a nice way to close the festival and give you a chance to chat to people, try something new, and reflect on what you've learned over the past few days of workshops. So Gather itself is a platform that allows you to create a little avatar and you walk around a virtual space and join conversations almost as if it was in real life. So it's really easy and intuitive to use. You kind of, if you want to talk to someone, you go stand near them and their video pops up. If you want to go into a room, you can just like move yourself around and go explore what's happening. So the explainer video, which I think Vicky's put in the chat, was to help people feel confident with the tech. So it goes really step by step into what some of the barriers you might face, so like reasons it might not work and just explaining how it works. But we're going to go through the key points today if you haven't had a chance to watch. So hopefully that should be fine. But yeah, I'm here all the way through as tech support if you need me. So this is what the space looks like. Basically, it's quite like 2D, old school internet looking. And you've got your little avatar and you move yourself around with the arrow keys. And anyone that you're near to, their video pops up at the top of the screen. So if you want to talk to someone, you walk near them and that's when they're there. You can use the chat, which is, you see on the left-hand side, there's a little speech bubble. So you can message the people near you, or you can message everyone in the space. And the other useful thing is people's videos can be really small at the top, or you can click this expand button and then it becomes almost like a Zoom call. People's videos are kind of bigger and it's easier to see them, and you can just minimize that again when you want to. And I'll show you around the space in a minute, but the other thing to note is there's a couple of spaces where when you walk into them it says this is a private space. And what that means is if you went and sat on the sofa, even if me and Danny were there chatting to each other, you would only hear the people sat next to you on the sofa. So it's almost like you're at a conference, you're wandering around, you can meet new people, you can have a chat with them, you can go walk into a workshop or into a different one. And it just recreates that kind of nice informal vibe of like the end of a festival where you want to reflect and chat and talk to the people that you've met over the course of the workshops. In terms of the tech, there's a few things that you just kind of need to be aware of. One is that it only works in Chrome or Firefox, so make sure that's the browser you're using. That's probably one of the key kind of tech support things to be aware of. Another is when you log in, it will ask for permission to access your camera and your microphone. And that's really key for you to be able to see and hear other people. So in the explainer video is mainly kind of troubleshooting for if that's not working and helping you go through the steps to make sure you've enabled all those permissions. And then finally, basically Gather themselves say, if something isn't working, generally, if you refresh the page, it will kind of fix itself. But when we've been trying it out, there haven't really been many issues or glitches. So it kind of seems to all work pretty well as long as you get those first two steps right. So what we want to do, the way we're going to do this session is we're going to share a link together, and anyone that feels up for it can just leave the Zoom call and go jump into the Gather session, wander around, explore, have a go. If it stops working, we're here on Zoom the whole time, so you can always leave Gather, come back on Zoom and either ask a tech support issue or just watch. I'm going to be in there as a roving reporter sharing my screen, so you can watch what's happening and see the conversations if you're not quite sure you feel confident about actually like just jumping in and trying it out yourself. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, and when you click it, you'll have to leave. If you want to go straight there, you'll have to leave this Zoom call because you can't use your camera and microphone on Zoom and on Gather. So you have to do one or the other basically. And once you're in there, it will ask you to let it use your camera and microphone. You'll make your little avatar, your person, so you can, be as creative as you want. I think we had a snowman from someone the other day. And it'll give you a quick demo just of how to move around, how to interact with things, and then you're in. But if you're not sure yet, we can also, what I'm going to do now is share my screen and show you around the space. And you can just stick with us as long as you want until you feel confident to go and give it a go. And you can, as I said, you can rejoin this call at any time. So I'm just going to stop sharing and see if anyone has any questions or worries or things you'd like to ask.
I just wanted to say we've already got facilitators in there as well, waiting to meet and greet you. So you won't be on your own in there. I'm going to be popping into workshop 3 because I'm sort of facilitating the question in workshop 3. So I'll be heading in there in a second.
Yeah, so there's 3 workshop rooms you can go and see once you're in there. There's one to reflect on the festival as a whole, what you've learned, your takeaways. That's workshop 1. Workshop 2 is about the co-production toolkit and how you might use it. And then workshop 3 is about your co-production kind of commitments that you'd like to make. And I can show you in a second, but Jo, do you have a question?
Yeah, if you turn off your camera and mute the microphone, can you keep the Zoom call open and then go over to Gather at the same time?
So you can, but it will mean that people can't see or hear you, basically.
Oh, okay.
Because it can only use one or the other. So I'm going to, when I'm the roving reporter, what it will do is it'll mean that people won't be able to see or hear me in Gather, but I can still chat in Zoom, basically.
Okay. And the other thing is, if you're having a conversation in Gather, if you're not in the private room, does that mean that anybody else can see the conversation?
Yes. So exactly. If you're next to someone, people can walk up to you and then join the conversation. But you can go into a little private space and then it's just the 2 of you or however many people are just in that space. But let me share my screen and show you what it looks like. So this is what the landing page where you come to, where it asks you to create your little character. And you see, because I am here, it means I can't use my camera or microphone. I press join the gathering. And here we go.
Oh, Maddie's in my way.
She can't get out.
To mine for so.
What with me?
I walk around. And over here, let me show you over here. This is where the workshops are going to be. So you see, I can't hear anyone. And once I go into workshop 1,
yeah, Maddie.
How exciting.
That's where those people are. And over here, workshop 2. So it's a nice way that, like, if you're in person, people feel able to jump between conversations that, on Zoom or other things, it's kind of harder and you feel like you're stuck in a conversation. But here you can just wander around and explore. Has anyone got any questions or things that would make you feel more confident to have a go and jump in? Let me see. Zoom people, can you hear me?
Maddie.
Yes, hi.
Hi, it's Alex. Just a quick question. Is there going to be almost like a national portal where co-production events of all sort of shapes and sizes will be taking place with this technology, so that if you are looking to engage on a particular topic, there might be something happening, on that day, a bit like Eventbrite for co-production, but using this platform?
I mean, that sounds like a great idea. I don't think there's any plans at the moment for it, but I guess it would be interesting like with people having like tried it out and felt comfortable with it and kind of seen the value, whether, you know, it kind of helps to bring people together nationally in a way that otherwise, you know, there's so much travel involved in connecting with people, or there's kind of clunkiness in other ways.
Yeah, so if you had a workshop on, I'm just thinking about this visual that we can see now, and if you had if it was a health inequalities workshop and one said you know, homelessness and rough sleeping, another one said addiction, another one said, you know, gypsy traveller community, so you could actually pop into different one, and there would be a host in each one. But you know, that would be really exciting, I think, for us.
Absolutely.
Maddie, roving reporter. Gosh.
And definitely. And yeah, you also, the space itself you can create as well however you want. So I made this one with the 3 rooms for this session. You can design it with as many different rooms or spaces. You know, they've got ones that it looks like you're at a beachside, or they've got ones that looks like you're in outer space, or they've got huge conference centers. So, you know, that you can get really creative in how big it is, what it looks like, all those things. Does that sound like something that would be useful for the work that you do?
I 100% think that there's a lot of people that would be very excited about seeing this. Yeah, it's a really fun tool, and especially when we're talking communities and maybe not necessarily professional sector, because some of the communities we work with, we have the learning disability services, and many of our service users run a group together, and they'd find this really exciting to play with and use.
Oh, brilliant. That's great to hear.
If you wanted to do a demo at any point, you could come to one of our learning disability service user groups, and they'd be amazed and really excited to help you in some way, I'm sure.
Oh, fab. Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully the explainer video is a good, like, accessible step-by-step to help people feel confident giving it a go as well. Have you had a go actually going into the space and making your avatar and stuff?
Not yet. I will.
No, you're very welcome to stay here and we can wander around and have a look at things. But yeah, it's a very fun thing to play with. I'll show you
in here that's a little bit.
The other things we've got, when you walk up to some things, you can press X and interact with them. So I've built in, there's a thing here where you can have a look at the toolkit itself as within the space. But you can also put in like videos. They've got things where you can add in like games, so people can just be sat around a table playing card games together. So there's some fun ways you can put like interaction into space. And here we've got a little toolkit feedback survey built in. There's lots of it's just a really fun tool that I think you could take in loads of different directions.
Now,
maybe we can go and go into one of the workshops and see what's happening.
Yeah, it's very cool. So do we kind of just wander around the different workshops?
Yeah, absolutely. You are free to wander around. Yeah, if you have any top takeaways that you want to share before you go, then do feel free. Or you can go.
I'm not sure at the moment because I kind of presented one and then attended one.
Yeah.
I think by the end of the next few weeks, I'll know a lot more.
All right.
But nice to actually meet you instead of just having you as a person.
Yeah, very nice to meet you. All right, enjoy Gathertown. Hi, everyone else.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah, great.
Good.
Great.
There we are. Oh, you're going to do one. Yay.
So, do you think can you pull all of these off afterwards?
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone can see whatever writing on there as well. Yeah, absolutely. So it's great. We can use it afterwards.
Yeah.
Too many other voices on. It must be the
Got Maddie in here. She's having a sit down.
What was that? Sorry, Joe. Were you saying something?
Yes, I thought I was in. I've got confused now between the two worlds.
Okay, so if you're in here, they won't be able to hear you in GatherTown. You'll have to leave the Zoom call for your camera to switch over, if you see what I mean.
Sorry, you're both saying it at once, though. Somebody from Co-Create and somebody from there. So what do I close?
If you leave the Zoom call, you can always come back, but then we'll just...
Okay.
Yeah, it does it. It gets, you can't do both at once, basically, is the only thing. Let me see if, I don't want people to accidentally not be able to do it. Let's just see if Amelia, there's Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Jenny. How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Enjoying GatherTown?
Yeah, this is fun. I've used it a couple of times before.
It's really fun.
It is. How about you?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Just wandering around. I think some people are always a bit shocked when someone like pops up on their screen, and then they run away. But yeah, it's going good.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Maddie, can all these people hear us or not if they're in their own room?
So they might hear us.
I feel like a fly on the wall. It's
we're just
I'm quite technical, so it's really interesting for me to see it from this point of view. I'm just watching everyone's movement and activity. Smiling.
Yeah, of course. You're very welcome just to stay here. It's slightly confusing for them because it looks like we're just a blank black square because our camera and video are off, but it means we can hear all of them. Let's see. Viv or Joe or Amelia, have you up for giving it a go? Have you got any questions about Gather? I'm wondering if you're either already in there, potentially. Trying to see if your name's there or not. Just trying to make your avatar fab. That sounds good. Let's see. Oh, great. I can see that Joe's gone over to there. Yeah, I don't know how she made the snowman. She just emerged as a snowman. Oh, I can see Woody's got a question. Oh, great. He's gone somewhere. Because yeah, there's a fun, there's little, you can do little reactions here as well. So you can like clap people, you know, respond to different things people are saying, ask a question, put your hand up. And then Jill say, oh, I can see Christine's come back. Should we think, oh wait, just to check. Christine, you all right? Is everything working well for you?
I was on my iPad and it was just really delayed and I could hardly see anything on the screen. So I've just gone to my laptop now.
Okay. Yeah, do you need the link again for it to work on your laptop?
Yeah, please.
Cool, let me just put it in the chat for you. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it doesn't work.
You're all right. At home, it's a bit intermittent sometimes.
But there's the link in the chat. So yeah, go have a go, see if it works. We're here. If it doesn't work again, come back and we can wander around the workshops and show it to you this way.
Lovely, thanks.
No worries. Well, maybe let's go check out one of the workshops.
The whiteboard will come up and you can write in it and make your co-production pledges.
So cool that. Right, I'm going to go find another workshop.
Okay.
Let's go see what this one's saying.
After next and in the final week of the festival, and then it will be officially launched and everyone will have a proper access to it. But I wonder if you had any thinking how you might be using Toolkit.
Can I just ask a really silly question?
Go on, Kat.
Is it a free product?
It is. It's a web-based toolkit. Am I right, Imogen?
Yeah, it's totally free. And please check it around. It's in kind of demo phase at the minute. But we'll be sending around a link and you'll have full access.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and you know, we invite everyone to share it as far as wide possible, because this is something we've been working on for the past year to build it.
Editor, here's Lucy.
Thank you, Jilly. Welcome.
You're
Lucy.
very welcome. Lucy would like to talk more about the toolkit.
We're talking toolkit right now. Hello,
Excellent.
Lucy. Nice to have you here.
Hi.
Yeah, so we're talking about the access to toolkit. It's completely free, and like I said, it's been built for the past year, but all the learning been gathered for the past 6 years. So we're hoping people will use it far and wide, because that's the whole purpose of it. Did you have the chance to look at the toolkit, Lucy?
No, I haven't seen it. I don't know where it is.
So I will find someone in a minute, because you can see it here on GatherTown on one of the boards, and you can also book yourself to attend the launch session when Vicky, who is coordinating the whole festival, gives an overview how it's been built, what it contains, and how you might want to use it. So let me just, Imogen.
Yes.
Would you mind taking Lucy to the board? You know where the toolkit is.
I have come across the board. I'll try and find it again.
Yeah, if you go to your right past the checked office space, and it will be there on the board. Now you're just trying to walk into a plant. So Lucy,
I'm going to follow Imogen, if that's all right.
You follow Imogen and she will show you. Hello, Danny. Hello, Liv.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. It's a bit weird, isn't it? I feel like I'm playing games again when I was like 13.
Exactly. It feels like a Mario a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Danny, did you come across GatherTown before?
Yeah, only briefly. I work with Co-Create, so I've we've had a little bit of a look.
So you're more or less insider.
Yes, apart from I've not had any
Look, they are in every room.
Credit for this. I don't know if anything had it. It's
No,
really good.
This room. We do have different people in this room.
Did you guys have a chance to look at the toolkit?
Oh, I see.
Just a quick one.
It's outside. It's in the space that's kind of in the middle of the whole office space. But there will be more sessions on launching toolkit week after next, and then
Here's the door.
So all our Zoom people, how are you doing? Are you happy with where we're going? Do you want me to go anywhere or see anything? How are you feeling?
I'm going to leave and come back.
Cool. You're going to go in together? Give it a go.
I'm going to jump in.
Yeah, nice. Okay, have fun. And yeah, we'll be here if you change your mind. I want to come back. How about you, Viv or Joe or Rebecca? Have any of you had a go? Are you up for giving it a go? No, go. It's just we're here as like kind of tech support, or for people that would rather kind of like watch rather than they're not like sure if they want to kind of jump in yet. So no, definitely just go carry on exploring, meet people and chat to them if that's what you want to do. Yeah, it's just tricky because you can't do both basically. So it's just so people know they've got this as a backup just in case. Because that's never what you want to do, right? You want to have innovative tech, but you never want someone to feel like they're excluded. So we didn't want people to feel like they were missing out because they weren't sure about the platform, which is why we kind of got both at the same time. Christine, how's it going with using it on your laptop? Is it working better?
When I went in originally, it allowed me to have the camera, but this time it didn't come up on my laptop, so I'll have to keep looking at that.
Your laptop? It would be because you're in Zoom as well, so you can't do Zoom and Gather, is what it will be. If that makes sense. So if you leave this call, then it will let you do it all over on Gather.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can always come back if you need to.
I will do later. Yeah, thanks.
Fab. Oh, Joe. Yeah, I think it's that it just it's your camera that can't do two things rather than gather. I think it's your camera gets confused if it's wanted in multiple places.
Oh, right.
The one you went to first is the one that your camera like focuses on, basically.
Right, so my camera's still in Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, Jo was saying she tried something similar.
Right. Oh, thanks for that. That's good to know.
No worries. Yeah, there's always a bit of teething problems with these things. But yeah, definitely recommend.
You still with me?
I am.
Christine, why don't you follow me now? Okay, so I'm Jilly. So follow my avatar using your directional keys. Okay, your arrows.
Okay.
That's it. Right.
Christine, should I kick you out this call? So
I'm going to take you to a workshop, okay?
Okay.
Follow me.
There we go. That should be working for Christine now. Thanks for coming, Viv. Great to have you join us. Cool. Let's go have an explore.
Workshops. Workshop 2 is editors in their discussion around how people think they might use the toolkit. And then workshop 3 is Vicky, who's doing co-pro pledges for the future. Does anybody want me to take them anywhere to one of the workshops? Would you like me to take?
I want to find it
on the open day.
Was it like the launch of the toolkit? Maybe was it a demonstration of the toolkit, perhaps?
It was a demo, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So do you think you'd like to follow me and join a workshop?
Yes, because Aim is here and she hasn't seen it.
Okay.
Then, but
if you close it and come back in it, load it properly. But
yeah,
you should do, because it makes it look much nicer. We got,
I know. I don't know why I've not got the plants. I was like really confused. I couldn't see the whiteboard either in Vicky's room.
All right.
I know.
It can make such a difference, can't it? Feeling like you're an active participant, and I think you learn by doing rather than just listening.
Yeah,
information. It embeds it so much better when things are participatory.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to let you talk to someone else for a minute.
Okay. Enjoy.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Not going to it.
Chris.
Well, before you.
Yeah.
So is there a more kind of formal workshop session here, or is this it? It's a kind of
no, there are 3. So if you go to workshop number 1, there is a discussion about different topic. Here we're talking about the toolkit, and then in workshop 3 you can make a pledge of how you are using or how you will be using co-production and what you're going to get out of the whole festival. So yeah, if you pop into workshop 3, Vicky's facilitating there, and there is a Caris in workshop 1.
Is the toolkit, is that complete now? And then
so it's still like a demo version, but it's almost complete.
Bring the whiteboard up for you. Just give me a shout if you need a hand.
Oh wow.
It is clever, isn't it?
But this is an interactive.
Seriously, I am blown away by this. This is absolutely amazing.
Isn't it? We were too.
Is it really expensive to buy?
It's not, it's literally like Zoom. It's like buying a license on a basic sort of, sign up to Zoom situation, and then you add licenses on. But I mean, I think we added another sort of 20 people on because we wanted to make sure, and it was about 30 quid or something. So it's not stupid money. I'm not sure what the basic license is because Maddie set that all up for us, but it's not ridiculous by any means.
Zoom had better get their act together then, because this is potential.
Well,
isn't it? Really,
I would much prefer interacting on this space than a Zoom space.
It's a bit
we were just saying in the other room, if you think of like the amount of people who are talking about Zoom fatigue,
Yes.
But then still needing to stay virtual. This is just seriously, I'm blown away.
I thought it'd be like really expensive, and I'd have to like convince my project manager to find it in the budget, but that's not too bad. So
it's not bad at all, is it?
I know that our project manager, he's just going to love it. He's such a, he'll love it. He'll be blown away because we've got a living lab with work, which is, I'm just wondering if we could create the living lab on this, you know.
Yeah, so do pop onto the notes page of the whiteboard.
Sorry, that's my dog.
Don't worry. If you want to make a pledge, a co-production pledge for what you'd like to do going forward within your organisations or groups or communities or whatever it is that you're linking with people. And we won't hold you to this, but we can share these at the end, which is quite nice.
Oh, so clever. It's quite user-friendly, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not bad, if I can do it.
Absolutely. It might be also the case that the topic itself, the topic of co-production, can be so big and overwhelming for some people that you really need the chance to break it down into different elements. And some of the elements might not be really appropriate for the part of the work you do, but others can. So I'm glad to hear that we're getting very, very positive feedback about it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you are with the work that's been put in, and it looks engaging, and it looks accessible.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, you took it with you, and when you came back, it came up again. So like it's like you're carrying around a presentation.
This is so good. I seriously, I am having the time of my life. This is amazing.
Hi, Kate. You all right? You having any tech issues? Would you like me to go anywhere? Is there any kind of conversations you'd like to join or things you'd like to do now that you know it's not being glitchy because you can see it?
Not really. We sort of had a go, and then what we're going to do is look at the actual toolkit and spend some time looking at the toolkit. So
nice.
Yeah, we wanted to just see basically how it worked, and we could see it was fun, but a bit glitchy for us.
Yeah. Okay. Were you joining on an iPad or what browser were you using?
My laptop. Yeah, Chrome on my laptop.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry it was glitchy. Yeah, that's why we kind of wanted to do Zoom as well, just so if it didn't work for some people, it didn't feel like you're excluded from the event. But I can imagine it's quite frustrating wanting to chat to people and it's not working.
Mandy, this system, when it's ready to be used, is it going to be free? I don't think it's going to be free to use, is it?
This Gather, the platform.
Yeah, Gather.
Yeah, so it's free for 25 people to use at once. So as long as you don't have more than that in your space, it's completely free.
And so I suppose you can just, for us as a small team, we can just register.
Exactly. And then if you've got more people than that, you kind of upgrade the space because it uses a different server. They need kind of more bandwidth for you. And it costs about $1 per person. So it's not like hugely expensive. It cost us like, we said we wanted up to 50 people at the event. I think it cost us about 30 quid for that. So it's really not an enormous amount of money.
So can you pay just for one use, not like Zoom where you've got to subscribe for?
Exactly. You just pay for when you need it. So you can upgrade for like 2 hours and then back to free.
Who is the developer of this Gather?
Good question. I don't know. At Co-Create, we just came across it and we thought it seemed like a really fun and different way to help people collaborate. Because what people often say is they really miss that part of a conference or an event where you just got to chat to people and you spot someone, you walk up to them, you have a nice chat. And so this kind of helps mimic that a bit. And we like encouraging people to try out new things.
Very different from Zoom. Can you do a lot of settings? Like if I set that when I pass by people, I don't hear their conversation, or people pass by me, they don't hear my conversation. Can I set that as on and off?
I don't think you can. You can turn off your camera and video personally, and you can also go and sit in like a private space. And so then people walking nearby you don't hear you. So all of these little desks are private spaces. So you don't, if I was sat here and someone sat one next to me, we wouldn't hear each other.
So that's the private.
Like make a phone call or whatever. Is the idea.
It is interesting. What's the best device to use this in terms of moving yourself? And is it tablet or laptop? Or
I think it's best on a computer or a laptop, yeah, because you kind of want a keyboard to be able to use the keys. Someone tried to join on an iPad, and I don't think it worked massively well.
Yeah, it's amazing. Some people walk very, very fast because we walk very slow because every step you have to press. You know, when you play the game, if you want to go up, you just hold the up key and it keep going. But with this, you have to press. Every press.
With mine, you can just hold it. I can just hold down, left, right, up, down, and it moves me.
Oh, I can't.
Oh no.
Do you know how? Because I imagine it takes a higher speed connection because how the system is you pass by someone, it's connecting that in, and you walk past them and it's disconnecting. So there's a lot of actions, and the internet band, you need to allow that.
Yeah, that's a good question, because so for a Zoom call, the amount of data it uses costs people about £5 an hour if you don't have good internet. My instinct would actually be that this uses less data because it's very low resolution, what you're seeing on the screen most of the time. And when people's videos do come up, they're a bit smaller. So I think it will still use a similar-ish amount to Zoom, but I don't think it would use more than Zoom.
Okay. Thank you, Mandy.
Of course. Have you got any other questions or anything else?
What is Co-Create? Is Co-Create a separate? It's a project under Aging.
No, it's separate. It's a little co-production consultancy. So we're all associates that work for Co-Create, and then we do things like we support the voluntary sector or the NHS or local authorities with how they, work differently and collaborate with people and communities and engage better and think about stuff differently around co-production. So yeah, it's a little consultancy.
Okay, Co-Create and the co-production is the same thing?
Yes, basically the same thing. 2 words. We like all the jargon, don't we?
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay. But thank you. That's good. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go now.
Well, it was lovely to meet you both.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Maybe trying to get more people in the community involved and see what, but also it's just people that have already just been recently diagnosed as well, so that they are maybe going to die eventually, but not just yet. So yeah, just making sure that they've got the best possible life and best possible support, while that's sort of going on, really. So yeah, it's a really new role. So I'm still at the moment, I'm just trying to work, build allies and just sort of see what's out there in the areas that I'm going to be working in. So yeah.
And what part of the country are you based in?
Suffolk. So,
Nice.
Yeah. So our office is in Bury St.
I suppose we can broadcast in here, can't we?
Got quite a lot of pledges.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, Kat. You all right?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
you're right.
Yeah, I was just saying, I was in workshop 1 and I thought I'm going to go back to Zoom. Do I need to physically walk out of the town? And they were just like, no, just basically click on the window and it shuts. And I thought this actually, and I think it's a compliment to it. It feels so real. I thought
you want to be able to walk out a door.
I don't want to click on it. It feels really rude to just bugger off.
No, it's fine. Your little avatar just kind of disappears when you close the window, basically.
So how long have you been working on this?
We just have been playing around with it for a few weeks. We kind of at Co-Create, we knew it existed, and we thought it looked really fun and something that we should try out. We love kind of spotting what could help people be a bit more creative and fun in how they do co-production and kind of more inclusive stuff. And yeah, it was great that the festival were up for just giving it a go.
Yeah, you got a good audience there, haven't you?
Yeah, it was really fun when I first showed them the space. Everyone was just running around giggling, trying it all out, exploring. It definitely brings out in people.
Yeah, a couple of us ended up in the kitchen hoping for something to turn yellow, to have a pretend cup of coffee.
Oh no, totally. Oh, have you had a good time?
I've loved it. Seriously, I'm giddy. I absolutely loved it. It's such a good, happy alternative medium to boring virtual.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm taking it back to the GM Moving Crew. I think there's a lot of places working on intergenerational stuff, and I think this just screams to have your teenage grandkids showing you how to do it, and yeah, really, really good.
I'm worried people will feel a bit unsatisfied with the ending. I kind of want there to be a grand presentation or someone with a loudspeaker saying thank you for coming to everyone. I think it is possible. I think you can make a little space where if you stand on it, suddenly you're broadcasting to everyone.
I think that there really would generally be an appetite for it.
Great. Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure we can make a sports themed one where it's a sports day or outdoor sports field.
Is there sorry, stupid question. Is there a garden?
Not in this one, but you can do ones with gardens.